Hey, Glow Getters. Good evening and happy Sunday. It's really wedged in there. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. Happy Sunday. What's going on? Oh, the notification went out. Hey, Bon. You're not late. I just started. I'm late. Because let's face it, when am I not late? Well, work. I'm never late for work, but pretty much everything else. It's a thing. How's everybody doing? How are you doing, Bon? Hello, everybody watching. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Rhonda. How you feeling? How you doing? That's okay, Bon. I'll hold them up before I start reading them. Hey, Shannon. Busy day like at work, you mean, Bonnie? I'm doing good. Thank you, Rhonda. I'm doing real good. Doing really well, I guess I should say. It's proper English. What's going on, everybody? Some exciting things. What do we have? Oh, tomorrow is January 11th. So 111. That is oh, okay. Okay. So weekend stuff or week beginning stuff. Yeah, Sundays. They fill up pretty quick, I've realized. Having Sundays off is like, you find a lot to do on a Sunday. And most of it in the house because everybody else is out of the house doing their grocery shopping and whatever. I refuse to go on a Sunday. Even no matter how desperate I am for milk or whatever it is, I'm not going anywhere on a Sunday that involves public. What was I saying? Oh yeah, some exciting cosmic, I guess, things. So tomorrow is January 11th. So the date is 111, which is a very powerful manifestation number. Really great time to release, let go of anything that's holding you back, set some new intentions, some new goals. You know, it's just, we're still in that spirit of it being a new year. And so it's a really good, the timing is really good. This year, it also happens to be that the new moon, which those of you who've been watching know I love the moon cycles. And the new moons are all about new beginnings, you know, setting new intentions, starting new projects, starting new goals, all that kind of good stuff. So the fact that the 111 portal is opening tomorrow, I like to think of it like kind of like a, it sounds funny, but kind of like a garbage can. So tomorrow, the garbage can, the the sort of cosmic universal garbage can will be open, the lid will be open, and it's a great time for us to dump the shit we don't need anymore, get rid of it for good. But then the timing of it is great because the next day is the new moon, which is all about new beginnings. So now that we've out with the old, in with the new, so to speak, like this is the time of year where that's really, really personified, really it. You know what I mean? So it's a really, really good time for all of that kind of stuff. And if you don't know the energy of the moon cycle, so whether it be a full moon or a new moon, specifically those two, I think the quarter and the 3/4 moons are also energetically important, but the ones that we seem to focus on the most are the full and the new. And those energies actually start at least a day or two before. So that being said, tomorrow is definitely a really good time to release and make your plans and set your intentions, not only for this coming lunar cycle, which is, about a month, but also for the year. I mean, again, we're in this new year energy, right? So we're still, a lot of us who make resolutions and all that, we're probably still really dedicated to those plans. We're probably still really motivated to stick to them. We haven't hit that hump yet where it becomes harder to stick to them. So this might be a good time to just set the intention that you're going to keep going. You're going to push through those energies of, I don't want to do this. This is too much hard work, blah, 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 blah. Great time to do that. Out with an old body and in with a new one. My old body's at it. Well, I mean, energetically speaking, Rhonda, and spiritually speaking, yes, it does. Physically, but again, there's lots of things that we can do with our energy to help improve physical things, physical issues, physical ailments, pain, sickness. I mean, does it cure serious diseases? No, but it can definitely help us manage those things better. It can help prevent further things from happening and from happening to us. So, if that's the kind of thing you're looking for, you definitely want to look into doing some work energetically, doing some energy work to help clear out whatever's causing, I'm not going to say what's causing your discomfort, because I know what's causing it, and that's not something that can be fixed in this capacity, but managing the pain of it, managing the discomfort of it, those kinds of things can absolutely be worked on. So, and that it doesn't have to be this time of year. This is a great time of year to do it because of all these things happening cosmically. I don't know what the planets are doing. I haven't looked into it yet, but I'm sure that's got something to do with it, because I know there's been some interesting, I'll say, energy around. So, there's definitely things we can do to improve our current state of well-being, if you will. So, yeah, let me know, reach out if you want to look at what some options are, if you want to work with me, that, I am certainly open to it. That's for everybody. Okay. So, I've been made aware that my lives are running a lot longer than they used to. So I don't want to do too much rambling and talking. Let's get into some cards. I'm going to hold up all 3 stacks. If you haven't had a chance to choose one of your stacks yet, this is the time to just make a mental note, or if you want to comment it. Some people aren't comfortable commenting, and that's fine. There's no pressure to do so, but I will hold up each stack individually, and then we'll get to reading some cards. Hi, Bethany. How are you? Okay, so stack number 1 was the purple stone. And yeah, I'm holding it up like that. So that's kind of what it looked like in the picture. Stack number 1, that's the stack on the left. Then we have the center stack. A lot of you felt drawn to this one. This was the yellow, yeah, I called it yellow stone. So this is stack number 2, which was the center, the yellow stone. And then stack number 3 was the green Jade Stone, stack number 3. All right, so for those of you brand new and just joining, hey Marns, just joining the group, the Glow Getter tribe, as it were. These are general messages for the coming week. They're not meant to be, I mean, they're meant to be serious in the sense that there's information for all. If the stack that you picked or that you felt most drawn to doesn't resonate, that's fine. And you may find information in the other stacks that resonates as well. So this is why this is general messaging. It's meant for a group versus a private reading. And yeah, let's get to it. Feel free to comment, interact with one another. When I'm sort of reading the messages, it's a little harder for me to interact with the conversation, but I'm not ignoring you, I promise. I just want to make sure that everybody who needs the message gets the message. Also remember that these messages are timeless. So if this is your first time joining us, again, welcome. And also feel free to go back through. I always post these lives after they're done. So the messages in them are timeless, meaning that whenever you feel drawn to watch, whenever you feel drawn to pick a stack, that's when the message is for you and meant for you. So you can certainly go back and see previous readings if you are so inclined, and just know that that's when you're supposed to receive whatever that message is or whatever resonates there. All right, here we go. So stack number 1 again was the purple stone. And we have the whip. The whip is the first card in this stack. And the whip in this, the message that I got with this card was that it's, some of us are possibly sort of taking a beating in our lives. And when I'm looking at this card, it's not only mind, it's heart. Even though it seems very dark and maybe not so pleasant, but that's kind of what happens when we are battling issues of the heart. And it's certainly the case when we battle issues where the heart and the head, the heart and the mind are not meeting, they're not compromising, they're not speaking to one another, and one's trying to win. And I do feel, even with the sort of sword-like point, I don't know, for me, swords really feel emotional, you know? Yeah, swords and knives, like they feel emotional. When you cut something or when you get cut, it's painful, but it's deeper, you know? And I don't know why I keep thinking about, or they keep showing me like these crime shows. I don't know if you guys watch a lot of crime shows and stuff, but any of those crime shows, when it's, you know, a gunshot, someone can pull a trigger from far away. Like when it's a stabbing, you know, some kind of cutting, it's always about emotion. They always call it like a crime of passion, because you have to get up close. You have to really be passionate about whatever your fight is to actually cut someone. And so that's why I feel like the whip is not just about, you know, mental mindset. It's about emotion as well. And I mean, a whip is just, you know, I mean, as little kids, if you had that kind of upbringing, a whip was like, oh God, it's trouble. So it makes me feel like it's a fight. There's a fight going on, and it's a fight between heart and head. And it doesn't necessarily, like, it could be an internal fight, but it could be an external fight as well. You know, locked in some kind of a battle of emotion or battle of will, with somebody else. But here's the thing. The way she's looking at you, at us, it's like she's saying, make a choice. Make a choice. Am I cracking you, or are you cracking me? You know what I mean? Are you cracking the whip or are you getting cracked by the whip? That's the choice you have to make. So this battle, whatever this battle is that, and I feel like this has been an ongoing battle. Whatever it is, it's time. It's time to start swinging and get yourself out of it. If for no other reason than balance. You see the number at the top? The number at the top is 11. Which is kind of funny because I was just talking about 111. Tomorrow's the 11th of January. I'm just saying this stuff, I don't make this stuff up. It just happens. But 11 is also for me, you know, it's 2 number ones. It's balance. And it's funny. I was having a conversation with my neighbor about this today, about balance and our need as a society as a whole globally for balance in all areas, not just certain things. So this card for me is really speaking to that right now, that we need to balance the power struggle between heart and head internally. We need to come to some sort of peaceful and harmonious resolution. If it's battles with other people where you might be the emotional one, they may be the logical one, or vice versa, whatever it is, but that needs to be balanced out. It's time to let those burdens go and to take charge, take action. So, pretty good card. Pretty great card. Then we have the Lightseers Tarot, the Star, one of my favorite cards in this deck as well. It's also the Aquarius card, so of course I'm going to love it. And it's purple, another reason for me to love it. Anywho, not the point. The Star is about wish fulfillment and it being time to shine. You know, she's being guided by the universe. She's trying to pull, or I don't even feel like it's like she's taking it. They're giving it to her. They've given her a rope, a tether that connects her to this light, right? Light, love, peace, harmony, balance, all of that, right? That's all encompassed here. And they've given her this string to pull it down and take her time. Step into her time, start shining. And everything that she's wishing for, right? Like she looks like she's down there, you know, praying and wishing on the stars. And then the universe opened up and said, well, okay then, girlfriend. Rhonda, I don't know what you keep pushing, but you keep asking to join the video. If you want, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll bring you on camera. But yeah, the Star card is definitely about it being your time to shine. And you can't truly shine if you're battling, you know, you're battling heart versus head and everything else. You've got to find that balance. So, you know, so you can get to this place. You can get to where you've got your shine on a leash and you can shine it how you want. You can dim it how you want. Whatever you want to do with it, you are in control. And I guess that's the other message about the whip, right? You control the whip. You control the whip. So control it. And then in case, you know, you needed further confirmation that the universe is behind you, we got a big old yes. Big old yes from the angels. Yes, honey, yes. Like, let's get it. Let's do it. Let's crack the whip for ourselves. Let's pull on our own shine and get it. It's as simple as that. Time to shine. Time to shine, glow getters. Time to shine. Okay. Grab a sip of tea. All right. Next up. It's always a no. Well, don't push the button. Next time I'm not going to be nice and warm. I'm going to accept your request and then you'll know. Don't be pushing buttons. That's what I tell my nephew all the time. Don't push buttons you don't know what they are. Things happen when you push buttons. All right, next up we have the center stack, which is the yellow stone. I know a lot of you picked this one, so you're waiting patiently. Let's get to it. So, card number 1, very beautiful card. We have birds. birds on a branch, birds in the bush, whatever you want to say. So when reading, yeah, I am harsh. Yes, I am. Have we met? Haven't we met? So when I was reading this stack before I came on live, I really look at the card and try to feel what the message is intuitively. And I don't know what was going on the TV behind me, but I don't even know if it was a show, if it was part of a commercial, whatever, but I heard a lot of birds. And I was thinking back to, the days in the summertime, springtime. I have trees all lining the walkway right beside my condo. And there is an incessant number of crows that take up residence there. And sometimes while I'm working, because, many of us are working from home right now, sometimes while I'm working, I'm trying to have a conversation with somebody, and these birds just start freaking out. And it's almost like they're drowning out, or they're really shifting my focus from what I'm supposed to be doing with work to them. And so when I was looking at this card, although it seems nice and cute and it's a really beautiful imagery, but all I could hear was these birds. And so I was thinking about it, and I was like, okay, it's about the chatter. It's about the noise in our minds, the constant chatter, the constant worry about what I'm supposed to be doing, every minute of every day. Like we just get so stuck in the thoughts of everything that we have to do, all the responsibilities, all the stress, all the tension, all the expectations of ourselves and of other people's expectations of us. There's just so much noise all the time. And I feel like this card came out as a reminder that we have to make time for quiet. We have to quiet the mind. Let the mind rest. If you take 10 minutes, and I talk a lot about meditation, and I've talked about it many, many times, where meditation doesn't look the way they make it look on TV. Meditation can be folding your bloody sheets, or folding your laundry and putting it away. Meditation can be standing at the kitchen sink washing your dishes. Meditation can be sitting in complete silence. Meditation can be dancing like a chicken with your head cut off. It doesn't matter. The point of meditation is to quiet the mind. And if you look, these three birdies, three little birds sat on a window. I didn't even think about that. That just popped into my head. Little Bob Marley for you guys. But these three birds look very peaceful. They're not competing with one another for their spot on the branch. They've all just found their spot. They're comfortable, and they're just being birds. And how many of us, which really is about meditation, right? These birds are basically meditating. They're chilling in the sunlight or moonlight, however you want to see it. They're in their little spot, protected, they're comfortable, and they're just being. How many of us can honestly say that we take enough time in a day, in a week, in a month, in a year, that we have spent enough time being, just being? Think about that for a second. When was the last time you just sat in your own energy? I do it a lot more now, but I can definitely think back to times in my life where that would have been a really helpful tool to get me through the day, the week, the month, the year, whatever it was, right? So it's time to clear the chatter, right? Of that, what do they call it? The flock of birds, flock of geese. Well, it's a geese flock, but whatever. Anyway, you know what I mean, right? Like the chatter that comes with too many energies, too many thoughts, too many opinions, too much. Time to slow it down, shut it down, and just be for a minute. Then we have the Nine of Wands. And the Nine of Wands is about resilience. You know, I think I've talked about it before. All these wands here are wands that she's won in battle. So it shows that she's resilient. She's won all these and she's staked them into the ground as a sign of pride. But she is also ready for whatever the next battle is. So here's what I feel about this message, especially when we saw the birds. I feel like the message here is that there may be another battle coming for some of us. There may be another battle coming where we are going to have all of our strength, all of our clarity, all of our logic and our emotions, everything in check. So we need to like prepare for that. And this is part of the way that we do it. You know, we need to keep that motivation to stay strong, to stay protected. That's why she's standing and holding her wand, right? We need to appreciate our resilience and understand it and respect it. And we need to just be prepared. And the best way to do that is to make sure that we're taking a holistic approach to our well-being. There are some of us that love working out, going to the gym, and doing all that. I don't understand that, but that's just me. But all those things, doing all those things, it's great for our physical health, but where are we at emotionally? Where are we at mentally? Where are we at spiritually? Right? It's the same thing with someone who's completely spiritually balanced and in alignment and everything's good, but we're eating garbage. That's going to take a toll on us physically. So whatever this battle is that's coming, we're not going to be prepared. So this card for me really says, be ready for anything and everything. Really prepare ourselves, really arm ourselves with the best possible, the highest state of well-being that we possibly can. And it's going to start with clearing out the mind, clearing out the energy that doesn't belong to us. This is the other thing I was going to say about this card is that, you know, because these guys are standing or sitting or whatever birds do so close together. It's like, I can almost feel, I don't know if you guys feel it too, but like, it's like all three energies are flowing within all three of them, which is fine for a time. But when we're each fighting our own battle, when we're each working out our own problems, other people's energy has no place in that fight, because what they're experiencing, what they're thinking and feeling, it could be completely different to what we're thinking and feeling. So we have to be very mindful that we're not picking up other energy that doesn't belong to us. And that's what this card was about in terms of quieting the mind, is make sure that the thoughts that you have are only yours. These thoughts don't belong to somebody else, and you've just taken them on because they were there. And you know, sometimes you do that out of fear. I don't want to know what my actual thoughts are about a certain topic, so I'll just adopt your thoughts. I'll accept yours as mine, and then I don't have to think about it, you know? And that's a very dangerous thing, because when we get what we want, we realize it was never what we wanted. It was what somebody else wanted for us. So that's why this message seems to be to really focus on what our internal, what our what our needs are, what our wants are, what our energy is, what our thoughts are, like all the things that belong to just us. Dig deep and get in there and figure it out. Because, and this might even be what this battle is about, is that, I don't know why I didn't see that before, but this might be a battle between us and the people in our lives. You know, we're the middle bird. And we got a bird on our left and a bird on our right. And they've got their opinions about what's going on. They are beaking off about our lives. No pun intended, but kind of. And so we have to really get focused. Like, you see, she's got no army. She's on her own. She's fighting this battle on her own. So we've got to get right so that we can fight that battle and come out victorious on the other end. And again, these angel cards, this is why they wanted me to pull them this morning, because this is all about improving health. And looking at this card, looking at the state of this angel, this is not just about physical health. This is about mental health, spiritual health, emotional health. This is all of it. Again, that holistic perspective on well-being. And that's really what I felt this message was today, is really taking care of ourselves all the way around, not just focusing on one aspect of health and well-being. It's all of it, because they all lend a hand to one another. They all work together. And if one is not right, then none of them are going to really work right. It's kind of like the chakras. I've talked about this before. You know, we've got these 7 main chakras, you know, and they all spin, you know, think about the gears of a watch or a clock, right? There's so many different gears because they all run different parts. The second hand, the hour hand, the minute hand, you know, on the really complex clocks. And they all have to spin, and they all have to spin at the same time, right? At the same speed to make the clock work right. So if one of them gets stuck, if one of them isn't spinning at the same speed, it's going to mess up all the other ones. It's the same thing with the chakras, and it's the same thing with well-being. Well-being is not just one gear. It's a bunch of gears, and they've all got to work together to make the whole clock work. So I feel like the angels are also telling us it's time for improving our health, but really get clear on what that is. What does health mean, and what could it mean, and what do I have to do to improve the other parts that I've been ignoring all this time, or not paying as much attention to all this time. So really powerful message. I feel like the reason it really stuck out to people was because, again, the time of year that we're in right now, this really special time cosmically, with the 111 portal tomorrow, with the new moon the following day, whatever the hell the planets are doing. I think it's a really good time. And coming out of the year that we've just had, it's really time to focus on ourselves as overall beings and not just one-dimensional. And prepare, because good things are coming, you guys. I don't know if I've said this enough, or if I've said it at all, but I honestly, the message that I'm getting, the energy that I'm picking up is that, it was never going to be that we go into 2021 completely just recovered from 2020. That was never going to happen. But laying the foundation, setting the groundwork in motion for way better things to come. That's what 2021 is about. Yes, it's about recovery. 100% it's about recovery. But what is that? The recovery is looking at all of it and making sure that all of it is strong and solid, so that we can now rebuild and rebuild better for what's to come. So really, really powerful message for stack number 2. And then stack number 3 is the green jade stone. And we have, okay, I'm going to read this. I'm going to read these in a bit of a different order. So the angel card we have is reconsider. Reconsider. And especially when I was reading the other cards, I really understood what this card meant. So some of us have been perhaps stuck in our thought process, stuck in our mindset about some things, and we've been really stubborn and hesitant and reluctant to change our perspective, to look at it from a different angle, and to be willing and open to change our minds. And I mean, I don't know what else you need. You got an angel telling you to reconsider. So, you know, there's that. But then when I looked at the other cards, the second card that kind of popped out to me was this one. And it's the dog. So what are dogs? What are dogs to humans? Dog is a man's best friend, as they say, right? And why? Why is there such a high, why are dogs put on such a high pedestal in a sense? It's because dogs are loyal. If you feed a dog, give him a scratch behind the ear every so often, he will always come back. When, you know, we see these stories of, you know, when a dog has grown up with a young child and that child falls in a pool and the dog rescues the kid. You know, dogs are there they'll save us, they will love us, they will defend us, all of the things, right? So what does that have to do with reconsider though? I spent a lot of time looking at this and really trying to channel the message. And what the message I got from this was that some of us have perhaps taken for granted some of the people in our lives that have actually been really loyal. The overall message for stack number 3 is loyalty. It's looking at those who have been loyal to us that we perhaps haven't been either reciprocating, not in terms of not being loyal, but not being appreciative, not showing gratitude, not nurturing those relationships. Perhaps we've been focusing on the wrong people in our lives. And this to me feels like a message of, you know, this is what we need to reconsider. Reconsider who we've got around us. Reconsider who we've got around us. Really look at who's been there. You know, were they front and center like this dog? Maybe not. But they were there and ready to strike if anybody, if anything came after us. They had our backs, and we've sort of neglected those relationships. So this message for this week, for this stack, is really all about looking at the relationships around you, understanding that right now, especially in this time and in this phase that we're going into, understanding the importance of having the right people around you, especially those who show loyalty and trustworthiness and respect, and appreciation and gratitude as well. You know, people who are there but never really show that they're happy that we're there for them. Same thing. And again, it's that balance, right? A dog that you are always babying and whatever. I mean, I don't know much about pet ownership. I'm not a pet owner, but I do know, like, I've seen people who like baby their dogs and it gets kind of weird. And then the dog just kind of becomes not, I don't want to say useless. That's not what I mean. But like, you look at this dog and you think to yourself, if someone broke into my house right now, this dog is not going to be the one that's going to save me. I'm going to have to save him. Right? And then you have others who show the dog just the right amount of gratitude, the right amount of loyalty, the right amount of appreciation, taking care of the basic needs of that dog, feeding, walking, you know, grooming, all that. And that dog is constantly ready. It's not aggressive. It can respect the other people coming into the home, but it's you know that dog is ready. If the shit hits the fan, that dog is it's go time, right? So it's a balance. It's a balance of how we nurture and care for those relationships. So finding the balance for us on what's the right amount of loyalty to give, because I think some of us too, I know I have been guilty of this in the past, but giving my loyalty to somebody who shouldn't have had it, to people who shouldn't have had it. And when those relationships end, last week we talked about coffins and spirit coming in and, you know, making moves for us because we've just missed them. That has happened, and it has happened because I took it too far on the giving loyalty when I wasn't receiving loyalty. And so we want to make sure that it's balanced. We want to really look. Loyalty seems to be, like I said, the theme here. It seems to be what the real topic is. You know what I mean? What the real key is to successful relationships, friendships, romantic partnerships, business relationships, like all of that. Loyalty is that key thing, because you can't have loyalty if you don't have respect, if you don't have trust, if you don't have gratitude. You know what I'm saying? Like, loyalty is something that comes when you achieve all of those other things. So I feel like it's an overall look at these relationships that we have going on and really deciding which ones we need to maybe scale back a little bit, which ones we should be giving a little bit more to. And the final card for this week, my lovelies, is the Knight of Pentacles. So this is still with the stack on the right, the green stack. And this one, the Knight of Pentacles is all about doing the work, right? He's schlepping these pentacles. Like, it almost looks like he's dragging them behind him, you know, but he's got pride in it. He's taking pride in it because he's not riding the horse, making the horse do all the work. He's dragging them himself. And he's trusting, there's the loyalty piece right there. He trusts that this horse is loyal to him. There's no, what the hell are they called? Reins? There's no reins. He's not holding the horse to him. And the horse is happily following him, happily walking beside him, probably looking out for any danger, being protective of him, willing to help when his pentacles start rolling around and acting the fool, but also respecting that he wants to do this on his own. He wants to do the work himself. So this is exactly what I was talking about, and I didn't even realize it. When it comes to cultivating friendships, cultivating relationships. I don't know why I keep thinking specifically about friendships, but really looking at the friendships that we have and what we're getting out of them. So what are these two characters getting out? Yeah, also time for alignment, Marnie, you're right. All the colors of the chakras are there. Not everything is in a straight line. We got some wayward rogue pentacles over here, but maybe that's where they need to be. So understanding what we need when we need it, and having those people around us who will give it to us, will give that to us. You know, horses are like to ride and run and you know, do what horses do. This dude here, he's just following along. He's chilling. He's there for backup. He's there for, you know, for moral support. Like, hey man, like he almost, to me, this horse looks like he's kind of nodding at him. Like, yeah, you got this, man. You got, like, he's being a cheerleader in a way. You know, the way the feet are, there's like the legs, it's like he's prancing, you know, like proud of his guy here. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely time in our lives to evaluate the people that we have on this journey with us. Understanding that everybody has a role, understanding that, you know, nobody is expected to do all this by themselves. Nobody. but we have to look at who we've got, you know, because from a different perspective, this horse could look like he's running in to bite this guy or steal the pentacle off his back. Now, that's not what I got, but somebody else might see that. Or in another reading, I might see it that way. You know, this horse just, you know, this wayward, wild horse is now showing up to mess up this dude's plan, right? But we have to take stock here. We have to take stock of who we've got and really I feel like they want me to say define the boundaries of these relationships. Understand each person in our circle, each person in our life for what they are. Decide if they are too close or too far away. Decide if they should be there at all. Yes, I'm hearing declutter again. So we had that message with the birds, right? Decluttering, making space. This is kind of the same thing. Make room for these types of friends who have our backs, are in our corners, making sure all of our pentacles are in a row or whatever the hell else we've got going on. You know, who are willing to build with us. This guy here is also about building. Pentacles are about foundation, right? And because this reading, this stack is all about loyalty, I think that that's something that should be mentioned as well, is that this, you know, this is about us making sure that when we're starting new friendships or relationships, that we're starting them with the intention of building strong foundations first, not rushing into anything. Neither of these guys is in a rush, too. Like, this looks like a peaceful stroll through a field. This doesn't look like, hurry up, we got to get out of here and hide our money. No, this is, let's take our coins for a stroll through the field and enjoy the nice sunny day. Right? So, taking the time to build connections that are really solid is also a part of this. And also the message is that if you find that you've got to release some connections because they're not serving you, you know, take heart that that's what's supposed to happen. It is uncomfortable, it is unpleasant, but the outcome of it is so much better because you end up with this, you know, you end up with strong people, strong connections backing you up in anything you decide to do. I'm taking me and all my millions, or me and all my assets, or, you know, whatever it is. I'm taking them all out for a walk. You coming? And you've got people who are like, yeah, sure, let me get my coat. Let me put my shoes on. What time? Where are we walking? You know, they're just there, and that's what you need at that time. So taking the time to create stable and foundationally sound relationships and connections, taking the time to reevaluate them as well. Marnie mentioned earlier alignment, and that is so true. Some relationships that we have started, some connections that we started years ago are still around because we feel an obligation to have them around. But if that's not in alignment with you and where your life is going, maybe it's time to let that go. Maybe the other person, and it's not just about you, maybe the other person feels it too. Maybe they feel as though they are clinging to something out of obligation, but they're really not being served in that relationship either. And usually that's the case, is neither party is getting what they need out of the connection. So are you guys going to spend the rest of your lives being polite to one another? Or are you going to be kind and release one another from that obligation so you can each go and find new connections that are better to serve you? And that's why the angels have said, reconsider. Reconsider who you have right now. Reconsider who you haven't allowed. You know, reconsider who you kicked out before. And if they're still sort of around but not in, reconsider that. Look at that. What do they bring to the table? Is it good? Is it in your best interest to have them, you know, sneaking around the entrance, skulking around the entrance to your castle? Or do you invite them in? Or do you have your horsey friend here run them out of town completely? Whatever it is, you need to reconsider it. Make sure that the people that you have around you are loyal, serve a purpose. Whatever that purpose is, they have to have a purpose. Doesn't matter what it is. That's your choice to make. But as long as they serve a purpose, they're loyal, and they're part of your journey in that way, then they deserve to be there. If they can't provide that as a bare minimum, then they shouldn't be there. But that is the message for the week, everybody. Some pretty heavy but good things. Remember, tomorrow is the 111 portal. I'm going to post something on the page tomorrow morning, just with a little more insight to what that is and what we can do and how to use that energy. And then remember that the 12th/13th is the new moon. I don't know why I heard new moon in Sagittarius. I don't know. I haven't looked that deep into it. I just know that it's a new moon on the 12th into the 13th. So Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, because I know it's all about time, but the energy of it's probably started, like it's probably already started, but I'm feeling like the energy of the new moon is definitely starting tomorrow. So it's a double whammy tomorrow, the 111 portal and the energy of the new moon. Great time for manifesting because of the 111. Great time to release, and a great time to set new intentions for the new lunar cycle. New projects, new ideas, new moves. All right, how's everybody feeling? How's everybody feeling? You guys went so quiet. Everybody good? Good. Okay. All right. Well, this is where we will end it then. That is the message. As always, thank you so, so much for being... I'm still thinking about my green stone. Yeah. But don't think too hard, Rhonda. Take some time to clear the mind and be mindless so you can be mindful. But thank you guys as always for being here, for watching and tuning in every Sunday. I am so, so, so thankful that you are enjoying this. You're liking what it is and what it's all about. I certainly wouldn't be able to do it if I didn't have you guys. So thank you so much. And I guess that is it. So until we meet again, be well. I love you all so much, and I'll see you next week. Bye.